Hello and welcome to another AI video. And in today's video, we will be talking about the OpenAI and ChatGPT. And we will also see that how to use the ChatGPT in the web browser. And also towards the second phase of the video, we will discuss that how to access the OpenAI functionality using the APIs and using the Python code. So let's begin today's video. So all of you have already heard about the Chat GPT, and so here I am on the website chatgpt.com, and I have already logged in to my account. And there are different type of accounts available. One of the option available is the free account. So currently I am using the free account, and if you want, you can go for the paid account as well. And here we have the features of the paid account, but we will be using the free account for all of the exercises, each and everything that we will be doing, except when we will be using the APIs. So there we will have to pay some amount. So, but currently it is all free for this part of the video. So I've already logged in into my account. So this is totally free. And if we click here on the chat GPT, so again, I am using the simple one, the chat GPT platform. And if you want to create a new chat, so you can just click here on new chat, or you can directly start typing here. And if you want to open the sidebar, so this option is also available, but there's nothing special there. So, what are the different options that we have available? So, of course, ChatGPT, as we all know, uh, is to accept the text prompt. So we can write the questions, or we can write any prompt, and then we will get the output. And in the current features of the ChatGPT, we can generate images. We can create different other type of outputs. So it has changed a lot since the initial versions of the ChatGPT. Okay, now, so before we start using the chat GPT, there is one thing which is important, that chat GPT is one of the product of OpenAI. Okay, so OpenAI is like the organization or the body which is creating and developing all of these large language models, and chat GPT is one of the model available. And ChatGPT has different versions. Okay, so we have ChatGPT 4, ChatGPT Mini 4.0, and so on. So that we will also discuss after a few minutes. Okay, so but this one is the most famous interface that you may have already used, the chatgpt.com, and there is also the mobile application available. Okay, so we can write anything, and it will give us the output. So for example, we can write here that create an image of a girl flying in the sky, for example, this one. And if we submit, so it will give us the image. So again, now this is the free version. So the output could be a little bit late, because again, lots of people are using the free servers. So that is one of the issue here. But again, and also for images, it's always a little bit slow. Again, to create the image, it takes some time. So so by the time it is processing the image, we'll give another prompt here, that what is the future of AI uh, in, for example, let's say in Saudi Arabia. So let's see what it will. So we'll have to stop the processing, okay, because again it will take some time. And okay, so this is the new prompt here, and as we can see that it is searching for the web. So it was searching for the web, and here we have the output, okay, based on the prompt that we gave. And now because it searched the web, so for that reason, it is also giving us the latest information, the latest news. Okay. Now there is one thing which you need to know, that all of these large language models have been trained up to a certain date. Okay, and for example, some of the chat GPT models have been trained up to 2022 or up to the data till 2023. Okay, so after 2023, those large language models don't have any data, okay, within their model. So in order to access the latest information, so they are now depending on the web search. So it is like they are accessing some extra functionality, so the external functionality. So they are, searching the web. So this data, for example, is not coming from inside the large language model. It is coming from some external source. Okay, another prompt, for example, uh, I want to create a YouTube channel for AI. Kindly suggest SEO friendly name and channel description. Okay. Now again, you can take help for lots of things from ChatGPT. For example, if you want to create a business plan, you just give the enough information to the ChatGPT, and you will get the information. So, for example, you're creating an a channel for AI, and you again no need to waste your time. Just ask the ChatGPT. So, unless I want to use for okay, fine, okay. So SEO friendly YouTube channel names, ideas. So these are all the channel name ideas, and name, why it works, why this name is good. So for example, AI unveiled future mind AI. So these are all the YouTube channel names if you are creating AI videos. Okay, and then the chat GPT has also created the channel description. So you can just copy and paste this description, make some modifications for your YouTube channel. And so let me know if you want to focus your content, like, so again you can continue all that stuff. Now the another thing is that all these large language models, they have memory. Okay, and for example, you don't need to give all this context again if you want to continue. So you just, for example, if I just type yes, or if I say yes please, okay, so it knows, the large language model knows that what I'm talking about, from which context I'm talking about. So it has, they, all of these large language models, they have some memory. And later on, in the next videos, when we will be creating the front end and the complete AI application, so there we will be using all of these features, that how to control memory and all of that information. So this is a very basic use of the chat GPT. Okay, so this is the image that has been created. So this is the prompt that I gave, and this is the image that has been created. So you can download and use this image for various purposes. All right. And then one thing that we just noticed, that in the prompt, uh, we gave the prompt about the future of AI in Saudi Arabia, and we were getting some web searches. Okay, and the reason is that, as I said, that each GPT model, it has some knowledge cut off time. For example, this GPT 4o, it has been trained up to the data till October 1st, 2023. So any information after 1st of October 2023, it is not available inside the data repository of that model. Okay. And so if we go back and if we click on any other model, for example, O3 Mini. Okay. So O3 Mini, again the same, October 1st, 2023. Okay. So different models, they have different cutoff time. So again, if we want to know the latest information, so for that, the GPT model will take the help of the web search, which means it will go to the internet, it will extract the latest news or latest information, and then will give us the information back. So the point is that each model, it has been trained and up and until a certain date. Okay, so let's continue with the next topic, GPT. Okay, now another thing that you can do, if you click on this, once you have logged in, if you click this icon here, and for example, if you go here to customize chat GPT. Okay, Now, customized chat GPT, this is extremely useful. So it's introduce yourself to get better, more personalized responses, which means you need to you need to inform the chat GPT that what's your role. Okay, for example, you are a social media marketing expert, or you are working in sales. Okay, or you are a project manager. So once the chat GPT knows about you, so you will be getting more accurate results. Okay, so for example, what should chat GPT call you? Okay, so I'll just go for my name, and what do you do? Okay, so for example, I'm a, uh businessman. Okay, let's say I'll be asking the chat GPT for a business plan. So what traits should chat GPT have? Now this is extremely important, that now chat GPT is working like your assistant or like your secretary. So this is extremely important. So you need to define here that what quality, so as if you are hiring, as if you have a secretary, so what qualities your secretary should have, or your personal or a business assistant should have. For example, let's say they should be good in maybe business planning, or they should be good in basic maths. They should know how to work on Excel sheets. Okay, so you can write here the basic. Again, you don't need to write them like one, two, three, or you can just write in a paragraph. So the chat GPT will automatically, arrange all of this information. So, for example, uh, you should know, and now you can start. Uh, for example, basic maths and digital marketing strategies. Uh, Again, spellings we'll see later. You should know Facebook ads, things like that. Okay, so and comma, and then you can continue. So these are all the things that the chat GPT, which is working yours as your secretary, should have all of these skills or traits. So if you click here on, so you can tell ChatGPT to do things like use a formal, okay, again, you use a formal tone, and be casual. So again, just like a normal sentence. Okay, so you can continue all of that stuff. Okay, and anything else ChatGPT should know about you? Okay, maybe you can say that uh, I have no uh, business planning experience. Okay, and but I am good in, okay, but I am good in something. Maybe you can just say that maybe you are good in IT or project management. So again, you can continue, and you can fill out all of these things. And if in the advanced, what we have, I think so, we'll leave the advanced as it is. No need to change here. All of these options are already checked, which means that the chat GPT will consider these options when the chat GPT doesn't have the answer. So if the chat GPT doesn't have the answer, it will rely on web search or some of the other options. So DAL E is for the image processing. Code, if you want to develop the Python code. Canvas, to create any canvas, and advanced voice, things like that. So check all of these options, and you can fill out these things, and then you just click on save. Okay, once you click on save, then you will be getting much more personalized responses, much more accurate responses, because you have defined all of these settings. So this is basically, you are creating a persona. You are creating a persona, and you are letting the chat GPT know that who are you and what kind of personality the chat GPT is. Okay, so this is also very important. So I'll just cancel this one. So again, I did, okay, fine, no problem. So again, this came through customized chat GPT. Okay, and then if you click on settings, so here we don't have anything. Yeah, because okay, so from settings, if you click here on personalization, so custom instructions, the same thing that we just saw. So it is the same thing, and nothing here, nothing special here. So we can just leave this section as it is. So this is what you can do with the chat GPT. Okay, and so again, you can ask any question, anything about your work. Okay, and so you'll get the answer. So this is again, ChatGPT is one of the product of OpenAI. So this is OpenAI. We'll now look at some of the information of OpenAI, and for that, the platform or the link that we'll be using is this one, platform.openai.com. Okay. Now there you will find lots of useful information, and this is mostly for the developers. And if you want to develop the generative AI applications, and you want to use the open AI models like ChatGPT. Now in the previous videos we used the free models, okay, free open source models using the Hugging Face. And in the Hugging Face, we saw different models. Some models are from Meta, some models are from different other organizations, but all of those models are free to use, and you can do anything you like. There are all type of models available on Hugging Face, so you can saw that in the previous videos. Now what we will do, will be using the same kind of thing, which means we will be using the large language model, but this model, the Chat GPT model, is the paid one. It is not for free. Okay. Now if you want to do the basic things, that is for free, but you can just use their web interface or their mobile application. But if you want to develop your own generative AI applications, okay, with some web interface, and you want to use the services of OpenAI, so for that you will have to pay. Okay, for the open source, that was totally for free. We developed some applications using the Python, so we will do the same thing. We'll be using the Python, and we'll be developing some applications using the Chat GPT, but we will have to pay for that. And for that, we'll have to use this platform, which is platform.openai.com. Okay, now, so let's see what are the models we have under the OpenAI. So once you go to this website, you will see here different links. So one of the link we have is models. Okay, well, if we click here on GPT-4o, okay, so GPT-4o, again, fast and intelligent, flexible, all of that stuff. And so here we have the pricing. Now, what is this pricing? That we will discuss in a while, that what do we mean by this pricing, input or output. So if we look at the pricing for this model, so we have here the input 2.5 US dollars, and the output is 10 US dollars. So what does it mean? Now this is different for different model. So this basically means that 2.5 US dollar input is for 1 million tokens. Okay, so this price 2.5 US dollars is per 1 million tokens, and output of $10 is also for per 1 million tokens. Now what are the tokens? Now, tokens, for simplicity, we can say that these are approximately one word. So each word could be like a token. But if you want some more specific information about the token, so here we have an article. So this article says that one token is equal to 4 characters in English. Okay, and so some words are like 4 characters. Some are less than 4, more than 4. So one token is approximately uh, like we can say that it is one word. So one word is equal to one token. So that is for simplicity we can understand. So in 1 to 2 sentences we have 30 tokens, but again each model will calculate precisely that how much we have the token. So here we have an online tool that will allow us to calculate the number of tokens. So if I copy this text here, let's say I'll copy the whole 2 sentences, 3 sentences, and if I paste them here, so we can see that how many tokens this will have. If I paste it, so it will show us that there are 42 tokens, okay, and 132 characters. Okay, so again, if we look at the price, so $2.5 is for 1 million tokens. Okay, $2.5 is for 1 million token, which is more than enough. So 1 million tokens, that's a huge number. So for example, if I paste a big paragraph, not big, but maybe a little bit more text, let's say this is the paragraph. Okay, if I paste it here, so this has 61 tokens. So imagine $2.5 will give you 1 million tokens for input prompt. So whereas this whole thing is will be counted towards only for 61 tokens. So $2.5, 1 million tokens, that is more than enough. And for the output, that is 10 US dollars for 1 million token output. So when the output will be generated in text format or in any other format, so that will be for 10 US dollars per 1 million tokens. So that is the price for this model. Okay, ChatGPT 4o. Okay, so again, if we click here on pricing, so we can see here that GPT 4.1 mini, so that is again, that is very cheap, $0.4 for 1 million tokens. 4.1 is $2 for 1 million tokens. So again, mini, of course, it will be lightweight, and the performance and the output will be little bit of less quality. And then we have 4o and the different prices. So you can go through all of that stuff. Okay. So that is the pricing thing. And then we have lots of other concept. We have the whole documentation available. Okay, if you want to work with text and prompting, if you want to work for the images, okay, so you can go through all of these documentation. But what we will do in this video and the upcoming videos, we will be creating our own AI applications, and we will be using the open AI models using the API. Okay, because again, we don't want to use the open AI website. We want to create our own web applications, and then we will be accessing the open AI models or the chat GPT models using the API. So for that, what we will have to do, the next thing that we will have to do is to make sure that you create an account and you log in. Okay, now we are on this website, platform.openai.com. We are not on the chatgpt.com. So for this, you'll have to log in. So I already have an account. I'll just log in into my account. So once you will log in, so this is going to be the default screen. So we are under the docs section, and you can again check you are already logged in into your account. So here we have different options. Okay, we have the playground, we have the dashboard, documentation, and the API references. So if we click here, the first thing, which is the playground. Okay, so in the playground, you can use different models. You can use different models which are available under the OpenAI platform. Okay. Now, this is different than the chatgpt.com, because in the chatgpt.com, in the free version, we cannot control that which version we want to use. Even if you go for the paid version, we have limited options available that which version we want to use. Now remember that ChatGPT is one of the model which is offered by OpenAI. Now we are in the OpenAI platform, and once you log in, you click here on playground, which means you can play with different models. So here we have different models. So you can change which model you want to use. So currently it is 4.1, GPT 4.1. Then we have all of these models available. Okay, we have all of these models available. So let's continue with the GPT 4.1. Okay, and then what else you can do? You can create here the system message. Now, this is again very important. This is the same thing that we discussed in the previous website, the chatgpt.com, that you will have to create a persona. So the system message is that you want to inform the chat GPT that who are you. Okay, so for example, I want to create a marketing plan. So the system message is going to be that you are a marketing expert. You are a marketing expert, and you specialize in Facebook and LinkedIn ads. Okay, so this is the system message, which means that whenever I'll be giving any prompt, so the model knows that what I am expecting. And you can continue, you can add lots of other information as well, like 3 4 lines as the system message. Okay, and then what else you can do? Additional messages. Again, later on you can add some additional messages as well. Okay, so and then you can start the conversation. Okay, you can start the conversation. It is the same thing like you were using the chatgpt.com, the free version. Okay, now the important thing is that whenever you want to use anything under the platform.openai.com, once you logged in, you want to play with all of these models, this is not for free. Okay, this is not for free. You must have to pay minimum $5 to begin with. Okay, now how this will work, we'll come back to this page later on. You will have to go to the dashboard. Okay, once you go to the dashboard, there you will find lots of different options, but one of the option you will find here is the usage. Okay, which means how much amount you have already consumed, if you had any amount in your account, how much is remaining, and all of that stuff. Okay, so this will give you all of that information. Okay, so but again, you will have to deposit the amount, and that is possible if you go to settings. Okay, and if you go to billing. Okay, so currently now I deposited $5, so I have a balance of 3.47, so I can, recharge, and I can add the money. So for you, initially it will be $0 and you will have to add some amount. Okay, so that is coming from the settings, and then from the settings you go to billing. Okay, and you can also view some other options like limits, so how much limit is available. So for example, so again, you can go through for each model how many limits are remaining, so that you know how much input and output is remaining there. And in the usage, as we just saw before, you can see all of the usage, that how many tokens you have already used, and so on. Okay, so this is where you will be paying the initial $5. Okay, and again, this is more than enough, more than enough. And then, because we will be using the Python to access the GPT models, and that is only possible once you will have the API keys. So if you go down, you will find here API keys. You click there, and I already have one API key. You will have to click here on create a new secret key. Okay, and then you will click next and all the remaining steps, and you will create your API key. So this is going to be your secret key. Make sure you copy it in a secure place, and that API key you will use in Python. And then using this API key, you will be able to access all of these different models, and your $5 will be consumed based on the number of tokens. So these are the two things you will have to do. All of that under from the settings. So pay $5 and then generate the API key, and then later on, when we'll be using the Python, use with the API key, so your $5 will be consumed. So that is the whole situation there. So if we go back to the playground, so again, you can just enter some system message, and now if you chat, so this chat is not for free. Okay, this chat is not for free. So mostly, the playground is for the testing purpose, to see how each model is behaving, because the goal is to create a full-fledged generative AI application that we will do in the next video. So before we do that, we need to know that which model we should be using. So that is the purpose of the playground. Now, the playground is not for the day-to-day use. Okay, it is not for the day-to-day use. It is for the testing purpose. You can use it for day-to-day use, but again, we have chatgpt.com that is for free. But this one is to see that what are the capabilities of different models. So you can just write your prompt, and you can continue there, and then you can also you can change the model and see what is the output of that model, so that that particular model will be using in the Python. Okay, and so for the prompts, and then you can try it for the images as well. So you need to verify the organization, so some verification is required, and all that stuff. So that is again under the playground. If you click here on the dashboard, so dashboard is like for the for managing your account. And for example, if you click here on assistants, so you can create different assistants. Okay, and each assistant will have a different persona or a different type. Some one of the, you have one accounting assistant, one you have an assistant who is expert in accounts. You have an assistant who is good in social media or business planning, and so on. Okay, and you can also fine tune some of the models. So we will also see that how to fine tune some of the existing models, and again API keys, all that stuff. So you can click here on dashboard, and then there also you can click API keys to generate a new key. And you can also see the storage. And storage is if you want to store your database, your vector database, on the servers of the OpenAI, and you have the usage. Okay, so that is the brief overview of the OpenAI. So again, two important things. One, first of all, you have to create an account, then you'll have to deposit minimum $5, and you'll have to create the API key. And the goal of doing all of that is to create the large language, or to create the generative AI applications which will be using the large language model like the ChatGPT. So for that, we'll be using the API keys. Okay, so that is what we know as of now about the OpenAI and the ChatGPT. And the next thing that we will do is we will be accessing the OpenAI models using the Python, using the API key. Okay, so that is for the next video.